As you all know, there's a little bit of a delay between when I start up and when you all get the notification, as well as when it actually goes on air. So I'm going to just get ready for everybody to come in. We're doing a live call-in. We were on live earlier, so if you're just seeing this video, there's an hour-long video that I did right before this one where I show exactly what happened, the video footage of the guy who took the life of his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, the mother of his son. And so we were on talking earlier, and you see there's still some comments coming up from the last video. So I'm just waiting for you all to get in here so that we can just jump in and get started on the broadcast. So welcome in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, you all are getting back. You're getting back in. All right. All right. So now all we have to do is wait for the text notification squad to get their text. And then we're going to go from there. Today we're talking about this guy, Larvell Huddleston, who took the life of his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, and then took his life. He wanted the cops to take him out, had his funeral outfit and everything already laid and planned out. And we ended that video because we were going to come forward and do this one. And now we're just waiting for the text to go out. I'm just getting myself together. I'm not in the mood to put on any makeup and all that other stuff. I just really just want to get in here and do this. Welcome in, welcome. Welcome. So I'm going to get the video queued up. We're going to play a little bit of the video. And then we're going to go from there. Welcome in, everyone. Let me see if the text notification has gone out. It has not gone out yet, but it will be out soon. Yeah, you know, there's so much to be said about this whole entire situation. The title is suppressing the views on YouTube, but this is why it's important to join the text notification squad, because it's important to join the text notification squad because these sites are fickle. They change their algorithm and they do all of these different things, and then the next thing you know, you can't be seen.
This is gonna be the last day.
You know what I mean? So nonetheless, come on in, come on in. I'm just waiting for this to see. Even the text notification is a little delayed. The subject is, I'm going to tell you all, for everybody who's here early, get ready. The telephone number is right there on the screen, 323-488-3149, right? And then while we're waiting for the text notification to go out, so Akame Iya is saying she was notified. I'm talking about the notification from the text notification squad. So that's what we're waiting for right there. And you all are coming in. Yeah, exactly. He bought a whole outfit for his going home ceremony. I mean, this whole thing was planned. Like, I don't understand. Oh, there's an apple just came through. I don't understand why he couldn't just see. The thing is, he didn't leave her because there's this possession that men feel of women. This is why they make all of these judgments on women about whether or not you have a man, because it's like you don't have an owner. Remember when True Blood was out and they were like, who is your owner? Who is your maker? I think they would say. And yeah, Susie says she got her notification. There's a difference between the text notification and the notification from the app. So I see there's a bunch of apples that are coming in. There are a bunch of apples that are coming in. So while we're waiting for the text notification, because most of the people in text notification should have gotten the notification for the last video and should have been there. So we'll just get started into jumping around through this video first.
Hey, everybody hear from me, bro.
All right. So this is the video that he did. Unbelievable. This is the video that he did, and This is the video he did, just letting people know that he was taking himself out and all this other stuff. It's just sick.
I just want to say I'm sorry. This is going to be the last day everybody hear from me, bro. This is going to be the last day y'all hear from me, bro. I'm sorry. There's just been too much going on. Police out here. She did. Police right there. Somebody come get my son first. This not finna end well for nobody, cuz.
So for those of you who don't know, see, the text notification hasn't gone out yet. I think it must be held up in the system, but it will go out. So basically, this man right here, his name is Larvell Huddleston. He was 26 years old. And instead of moving on and going his separate way, he decided that he had dominion over another human being's life, more than just her, because the people who came to try to help her, he shot at them too. He not only took her out of this life, but he took out a white man who's 31. He shot at an older black male who went to try to help. So the white man, and the thing is, no one is talking about the white man who was a hero, who attempted to intervene, and he lost his life stepping up as a good Samaritan. He right here, you know what, this, I'm sorry, the text notification is supposed to be out. If it doesn't go out within the next few moments, I'm going to go and put it through manually, because this is, sometimes it gets stuck inside of transmission, because, you know, because we went live already. Again, we went live already today, but we'll play a little bit more and then I'll look at what's going on with the text notification squad.
This is gonna be the last day y'all hear from me, bro. I'm sorry. There's just been too much going on. Police out here. She did. Police right there. Somebody come get my son first. This not finna end well for nobody, cuz. Yeah, so I've been dealing with a lot, but trying to, ain't nothing finna justify my actions, bro. I've been dealing with a lot. I just need somebody to get my son.
All right.
I'm not the right person, bro. Me mentally, like, I've been through too much. Just come get my son first. You didn't have to kill me. I'm not killing myself, bro.
So
don't nobody like to be mindful of that shit, then be playing games with a motherfucker, bro.
This is the ultimate act of control. This is the ultimate act of selfishness. This is the ultimate act of abuse. This is not love. This is not a person gone awry. This was a deliberate taking of a person. This is not a crime of passion. This was a deliberate removing a person from this life, because he didn't want to be here anymore. He was done. And I guess he felt that she didn't need to be here either. He had sense enough to not harm the child. He had sense enough to go get a whole outfit for his going home service. He had sense enough to do a lot of things, but he didn't have sense enough to know that he was a danger to himself and other people and get some help. He didn't have sense enough to call a hotline and talk him down. He didn't have sense enough to take himself to an institution and get himself into a padded room. He didn't have any of that. So it's just this, I'm not buying it.
Just don't be good enough.
He did. He took her outside. He took out other people out there as well. He goes and he prays for a little bit, and he's asking God, saying he failed him and all this other stuff. In Jesus' name, I pray, amen. So here's his prayer.
You had me so many times, and I'm sorry. Lord, I know you had me so many times. I know you had me so many times, and I'm sorry I couldn't. I'm sorry. I know you give your strongest battles to your strongest angels. I failed you and everybody else. Please continue to watch over my son as he live his life. And I pray best for his mama and her family. In Jesus' name, I pray, amen. Please forgive me.
He's asking for forgiveness.
Bruh. I told niggas, bro.
He's using the bathroom. That's what I hear. I hear urine. He's urinating. He put the phone down. He had sense enough not to take it into the bathroom with him. This is what we hear. I didn't hear this the first few times I watched this, but he's urinating. The text notification went out. No. No, it did not go out. Hold on.
I'm not scaring y'all.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm finna end this video. But Sean,
oh my God,
any money you owe me, bro, give it to her parents. Any money you owe me, give it to her parents. And always check up on my son, bro. Stay in contact with her. I love everybody. I'm sorry, bro.
I didn't press all of these different buttons. Well, this is fitting right here. Not that. Lord have mercy. Listen, we just have to let this play out. We have to let it play out. We have to let it play out. Oh my goodness. Give it a second. My stuff was dropping and I hit all of these buttons. This is all the fanfare. Well, you know what? We needed to check our apples anyway. But we need to get the sound of the dusting off. This is too much. All right, listen. Somebody's like, what's going on? I don't even know. I don't even know. Look. Let's read the apples that we have in. That was the fanfare for the super apples. But we're gonna read the regular apples. Oh gosh, this is too much. All right. So Khadijah sends $5 and says, I'm so sick and tired of this. It's at a point of, and then she says, K or BK, and I ain't going. I don't blame you, dear. I don't blame you. And she comes back and says, I'm demanding White Zaddy do something about these beasts. Well. All right, so listen, the text notification for this video has not gone out yet, so I'm going to have to send it out manually because I don't know what is going on. So just bear with me because the text notification squad needs to get their text. And I don't know what error happened behind the scenes that stopped it, but we're not going forward in the video until that goes out. So what we're going to do is, what I can do for you is we can let this video play. And then while it's playing, I can at the same time simultaneously be sending out the text to make sure that the text notification squad gets their text. It doesn't typically malfunction like this, but it did in this sense. But, you know, we'll take care of it. Don't worry. Don't you worry. I got you. I got you.
Bro, but I'm telling you, that mental health shit is just, it's something else, bro. And I love everybody, bro. I love everybody that love me, bro. I'm not answering no phone. Hey, I'm in apartment 214. I'm finna kill myself. Just come get my son. Niggas gonna think this over a bitch. It's not, bro. It's not. I never gave no fuck about none of that shit, bro. I had bitches fucking with me a long time ago. It's not. It's not. Not.
All right, so here y'all see the video, man.
All right. We skipped through a bunch of this, so we can take it back to the beginning in case you want to see that.
I'm sorry. There's just been too much going on.
Let's see.
Openly about mental health.
Yeah, hold on.
Just come get my son first. No, come get. Have somebody come get my son. He in the house with me. No. Yes. Hey y'all, I just want to say I'm sorry. This is gonna be the last day everybody hear from me, bro.
All right. I see that some people are saying that they're triggered by this. There is no violence in this video. Don't worry. There's no violence in this video. He's just talking and he's going on about what he's feeling like he's getting ready to do, but he doesn't, in the video does not show any of it. So don't worry. You are safe. Do not worry. You are okay. All right. So here, I'm going to finish playing this while I get the text out.
This is gonna be the last day y'all hear from me, bro. I'm sorry. There's just been too much going on. Police out here. She did. Police right there. Somebody come get my son first. This not finna end well for nobody, cuz. Yeah, so I've been dealing with a lot, but trying to. Ain't nothing finna justify my actions, bro. I've been dealing with a lot. I just need somebody to get my son. Sorry, y'all. I'm just ready to die, bro. Just ready to get this shit over with. I'm already shooting at the police and shit and everything, bro. It's over with. It's over with. It's over with. That's a whole body right there, bro. I'm not the right person, bro. Me mentally, like, I've been through too much. Just come get my son first. Yeah, cause y'all nothing. Y'all finna have to kill me, bro. Cause I'm gonna shoot at y'all, so y'all might as well finish. I'm not finna shoot right now. Come get my son first. Matter of fact, just wait until his parents come. Y'all finna have to kill me. I'm not killing myself, bro. Cause I'm ready to go. We done talking. Didn't I just shoot at you? We done talking. Straight up. Just come get my son, bro. That's it. Everything after this, we can just get it cracking. Straight up.
All right. So I just sent out the text, so everybody should be receiving their text and coming on in right now. You got the general gist of the video. This guy, he was also bucking shots at the police. He murdered multiple people. The United States used to consider 3 murdered people a mass shooting, but there were so many mass shootings, almost one every day in the United States, that they had to change it to 4 people. Then from there were still so many mass shootings that they had to change it to 4 people plus the gunman in order to equal a mass shooting. So he shot at 3 people, killed 2 of them, shot 1 in the ankle. He killed himself. That's 4. 4 people shot that day. Plus he shot at the police. One of the bullets hit the police car. He's a menace. He's a menace. He's a menace. And I know that there are people who cared about him and who care about him still and who are mourning him. He was menacing. He menaced this young lady. He menaced the neighborhood. Somebody lost their son. He murdered a person that had nothing to do with this. He shot at a black man. He didn't care. He had this gun. He's in this country with 300 million people, more guns than people. There's more than 300 million guns in this country. And most of the women who are harmed by men in this country who lose their lives to them, they lose their lives by gunfire. So yeah, so let's get the phone lines open. Text notification squad has their text gone out. So let's get the phone lines open. This is the number right here. 323-488-3149. I don't know what happened. YouTube must be playing some sort of games in terms of the way the video was published, because the text notification is automatic and it never went into the system. So I think YouTube is kind of holding it up some. We showed the beautiful young lady. This is her beautiful young lady who lost her life at the hands of this senseless violence. Her name was Aurieuna Nicole Reed. They had a child that was about 2 years old, looked like. The child was born in October, and she seemed really happy to be a mother. She was working in the medical field, as well as perhaps working at a restaurant as well. And she was doing what she needed to do. She was up and coming vlogger. She was full of life. She was full of life, and she was young. And these men say they want these young girls, these young women, right? But these young women don't have the experience to know about these warning signs. And then when things go awry, instead of blaming the man for his behavior, they blame her for not choosing well. It's unbelievable. The same could be, he's the older one. He's the one who's supposed to be the leader. He's the one who has age and experience over her. Why is it that if she was causing all of these issues for him, why didn't he choose better? Why didn't he make the better choice of walking away? Why didn't he make the better choice of getting himself some mental health care? Why didn't he make the better choice of not buying bullets, of giving away his guns, checking himself into a mental hospital? Why didn't he do that? Phone lines are open. We're going to be discussing this whole situation. And if you want to send an Apple through on air, the link to do that is in the description. You're on the air live with Tanya. What is your name?
Hi, Tanya. It's Khadijah.
Oh, hey. What's going on, Khadijah? Where are you calling in from?
I'm at home. You know, I'm in Atlanta. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. You all discombobulated. So we got Khadijah calling in from Atlanta. Welcome onto the line. What is your comment about this whole situation that we're in right now?
You know, first off, am I allowed to be radical?
Within the YouTube confines, I suppose. You know what? F it. Go ahead. Say what you need to say. I know we're not going to get monetization on this video. So go ahead.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try, but it's really hard. It's really hard. I'm tired of seeing these young girls that I graduated with, these young girls that are exactly my age, 25, 26, 27 years old, getting killed by these motherfuckers. I'm tired of seeing this shit. Like, I'm really tired. This shit is really getting out of fucking hand. It's getting out of hand. It really is. I'm so sick and tired. If we ain't getting attacked by they biracial, then we getting attacked by them themselves. I'm so sick and tired of this shit. And this should be a warning sign to women. Instead of just seeing this shit go on over and over and over again, and you're not gonna do nothing until you next. No, you need to protect yourself. And like I said in the Cash App, it's either kill or be killed. Because they'll kill you over just having a car, pumping your gas. They'll do anything to you, especially out here in Atlanta. I'm seeing all this shit that's going on out here in Atlanta. Oh, no, I'm not going. And I don't think no other black woman should have to deal with this because they want to keep a man. They want to try to work things out. No.
What are some of the things? Thank you so much for that. What are some of the things that you're seeing in Atlanta that you say you're seeing all of these things in Atlanta?
I've seen multiple women and children being killed, unalived and thrown out on the side of the highway. I've seen 3 cases of that within the last 2 years. 3 cases of that happened out here in the last 2 years. I'm seeing a lot of cases where people are shooting up Waffle Houses, shooting up Waffle Houses or whatever, and bystanders, women are getting killed.
You
I'm
serious?
seeing situations. I'm sorry. Unalive. I'm sorry. I'm seeing a lot of cases where, you know, they want their cake and eat it too, but the woman not dealing with that, so then they become unalive for that. I'm seeing cases, the girl that was with her boyfriend, and the guy pulled up on her. That was last year. That pulled up on her while she was on the scooter and shot her because he didn't give her a number while she was with her man. That happened last year in Atlanta downtown. A lot of kids are getting hit by stray bullets. The human trafficking is going crazy out here by black men. They're the ones that's driving around the projects. They're the ones that's luring and trying to lurk. My best friend had a situation where her daughter almost got snatched from the playground in front of the house. Black man. I'm tired of this, and I'm going to the march on Washington, the one that's supposed to be celebrated for black femicide. I'm going to that, and I want legislation to at least somebody to at least address some kind of legislation against this kind of action, whether it's trying to get some kind put in some kind in the FBI database. What is it called? Like when they target certain behaviors to put them on kind of a watch list. Like you know how some people continuously go to jail for the same thing, maybe domestic violence, but they don't take it seriously. Stuff like that needs to start being taken seriously. I mean, we paying our tax dollars too.
Yeah.
It's not fair. We gotta live in these communities with men that don't want to do what they're supposed to do as men. We have to build it up on our backs, and then also we have to pay the $50 billion that they're causing the deficit on the economy. That's coming out of our asses. If y'all didn't know, it's not just coming out of everybody. They're living in our community, so the black people who are actually paying their taxes is paying their dues. And that's the dues that they're not paying that's costing the prison industrial complex to house them. They want to go to jail. They want to be in there. They get 3 meals. They get to go to bed. They get to fuck each other. Oh, it's Hollywood up there for them.
Oh, wow.
No, we need some kind of legislation. And if y'all want to get picked off, last year it was every 8 hours. This year it's every 5.5 hours. If they killing each other every 30 minutes, and every year we're going up by 2 hours. How long do you think it's going to be before you become every 30 minutes?
Black men are killing each other every 30 minutes?
Yes.
Who's providing that data? Let me take a look at this. How do we see this?
I believe it's also on the the crime FBI crime database as well. The same statistics site that shows all the crime by nationality or race, I guess, age. It's on the FBI database.
You're gonna have to give us more information on that, because if that is a stat, I need to be able to quote that.
Okay, well, I can probably send it to you on WhatsApp. I have to go through my screenshots and send it to you through WhatsApp, or I can send it to your email.
Yeah, do that. Send it to me, TanyaTKO.com. Click on contact and send it to me.
Do you really believe that? Do you believe that they're killing or unaliving more women than they are men?
Look, I'm a numbers person, so it's not what I believe. It's not what I've seen. It's what the data shows. So if the data shows it, then let's take a look at it, because, you know, we're on air right now, and there are about 800 people on the broadcast right now. So if this is a stat that's real, then I definitely want to be able to quote that.
I'll email it to you. I'm looking in my screenshots now, and I'll email it to you, the status. The stats.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
The statistics.
Thank
All right,
you.
I'll get off the line and I'll go ahead and send that to you, and I'll cash app you and let you know that it's sent.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Khadija. Thank you for calling in.
No problem.
All right. All right. So we're definitely going to look into that. Another call is coming in. You're on the air live. What is your name and where are you calling in from?
My name is Kanisha. I'm calling from Omaha.
Keisha from Omaha? I need you,
Kanisha from Omaha.
Kanisha, I need you to turn down the broadcast in the background because there's a little bit of a delay. So just talk to me through
Okay,
the
I just
phone,
did.
okay?
I
All
just
right.
I just did. Can you hear
Wonderful.
me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm calling because I live in Omaha, Nebraska, and there was a story about 2 weeks ago. This couple was in their 40s. Her husband killed her. I think they was like early 40s, and they was in our military city, which is Bellevue, Nebraska. And he hurt her.
Hold on.
The
I'm sorry.
neighbor said,
Shakora W just got themselves sent into the block party. We do not call women misogynistic slurs on this page. We are already a marginalized group, and the way that we honor a marginalized group is not by attacking them with slurs. You call women B's and H's and you attack one another on this page, you'll find yourself in the block party. Do not play those games. Take that elsewhere. You're going to be on your best behavior. You will not be able to comment here. So it's very simple. I'm sorry, Kanisha. I just had to do some housekeeping real quick and just
"Oh, it's
sweep out
okay.
some dust.
You know what? I just caught your broadcast. I just wanted to tell you a really, really quick story, like 30
Mm-hmm.
seconds. I'm in my early 40s, so about 20 years ago, I worked at a telemarketing company with this chick. We discovered we lived about a block or so away from each other. We became really fast friends, but she couldn't go anywhere. She couldn't do anything. She told me that her guy at the time thought she was sleeping with her father-in-law, his father. A couple years later, he M'd her and went to prison. He just got out of prison in like 2017 or 18. Then there was a really big story here because guess what he did? He gets out of prison. He wasn't out for even 6 months at that particular time. He M'd his mother, his father, and his beautiful niece. And like Cynthia G says, it's the pathology of these people. Like, I mean, and it's been more stories within the last 20 years here. But I'm just telling you, I'm in small Omaha, Nebraska. This is going on everywhere, period. So it's just crazy. And I have daughters in their 20s, and I'm just really, really fearful for them and all these young girls out here.
Wow. Because you know what? It's like you can't even get revenge on them because they're taking themselves out right after.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
Exactly.
it's unbelievable. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Well,
much
thank
for
you for
sharing
taking my
that.
call.
But let me ask you, what is the overarching self-love lesson that exists in your story?
I think from what I tell my daughter is choose you first. It's simple, but choose you first. Look at the red flags. Walk away. It's okay to be single. I'm not talking about divest. I'm not talking about go to women, but choose you first. And we all see the red flags and we overlook them just, to keep a man around or keep somebody, the company around or because we fell in love or whatever the situation is. I'm just looking at it as I want to be safe. So I'm single myself. And I just feel like with all these stories going around, and it's all across the country, it's every day, it's every other day, it's different ages. It's just disgusting. So I'm just saying, I choose me first. And that's what I tell my daughters. And I have 3.
Right. Well, you know what? Thank you so much for chiming in. Thank you.
No problem. Have a good day.
From Omaha, from Nebraska. I think she said Omaha. Listen, if a woman starts accusing you of cheating and having intercourse, especially intercourse with somebody you know, or saying that you looking at people when you're out with them, this is one of the warning signs of oncoming abuse. they're doing this to constrict you and isolate you because they're like, oh, I see you looking at that person. I see this, I see that. So that now you're walking around with your shirt buttoned up. You're afraid to look at anybody, your phone, you on high alert. They got tracking devices on you and all of that. Listen, that is one of the warning signs of abuse. So take that and understand that you need to be in a relationship in which you are able to be free, in which you are able to feel confident. If there's a person who thinks that you're cheating, why are they with you? If they seriously, honestly, truly, truly, truly feel that you're cheating, why stand there complaining about it, crying about it, wrist out, and all this other stuff? Just why don't they just leave? Why don't they go and be with somebody who isn't cheating then? But the mental torture and anguish that comes along with a person accusing you of cheating and all this other stuff, it's a manipulative abuse tactic to get you to shrink yourself, shrink your behavior, become smaller, and then ultimately once you have nobody around and you're isolated and your esteem is beat down and low, that's when they start coming for you and start trying to batter you because at that point they feel justified, and they also feel that they have given themselves the go ahead to take it to that next level, because it just doesn't start out. They don't start pummeling you on the first date. They have to prime you and prep you, and they have to get all of the people around you to think that they're such a great wonderful guy. You got to think that they're such a great wonderful guy, and it's you and your behavior, quote unquote, that is causing them to act that way. And so they have an excuse to be able to lash out. Just take notice. Take notice. These type of people they start out by breaking things up, smashing things, but please notice they always have sense enough not to smash their own things. It's always your stuff that they're breaking up and smashing up, and your things. Their stuff is always fine. So they got sense enough to know what to smash and what not to smash. You know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable. Nobody has the right to put their hands on you. You need to be in a relationship where you feel safe and free and unencumbered. You need to be able to be yourself in a relationship. And I don't care how many Instagram posts you put up with this person. I don't care how many people are like, because it's like, because remember, people were talking about how J-Lo had been with so many men. It was like 3. And they were trying to call her loose because she married 3 men. Come on. Meanwhile, these community peen, old, smashed out bananas that they got out there have been in everything. You're on the Air Live with Tanya. What's your name?
Sim.
Your name is what?
Sim.
Hi,
S-I-M.
Sim. Where are you calling in from?
Philadelphia.
So every time you call in, you're saying that you're in a different state?
No. I'm in Philadelphia, but I have a North Carolina number because I drive trucks.
Oh, okay. So you one of them out there on the road. So go ahead, Sim. Talk to us. Last time we spoke to you, you told us about how a man can corner a woman in a room and do whatever it is that he wants to her because he's stronger than her. You remember that, or do I need to pull
No,
up the audio for you?
me.
Oh, it
wasn't me.
wasn't. Oh.
No, that wasn't. I never had. The last time I called in, we were talking about another topic. I forgot what it was about, but I was saying that black men don't have the room to talk about black women until they clean up their communities. That was me.
Oh, okay. All right then. So go ahead, Sim. Let's hear what you got to say today.
Oh, I just think that I understand women are angry, and of course they have the right to be when they hear stories like this. But we have to remember this isn't pick the wrong relationship type of guy. This is mental illness. The solutions you're giving are accurate, but if a woman was that rational herself, she wouldn't be picking that type of man. So it's not, that type of woman is not the woman that does that. And this is not a normal thing for men just to do stuff like this. So we have to remember that this is no different from alcoholism or somebody who has
why don't we do this? Why don't you provide his mental health record so that we have proof of whether or not he was mentally ill? Please, can you fax them to me?
Well, I'm not going to be able to. I don't know the man personally, but I mean the behavior. If you think that it's normal for a man to kill himself, and if that's normal to you, then okay, then I guess I see where you're coming from. But I don't think that's normal behavior. I don't think the average black man is killing
Okay,
himself and a woman.
let's do this. Let's do this. Let's talk only about what it is that we know. If
Right.
you want to say that a thing is not normal, we can say that there is a thing a behavior that is abnormal. But we are not qualified to offer any type of diagnosis of any type of mental health path or any type of mental health ailments from afar. We don't know if this man was suffering from narcissism and abuse. There, you know that taking your victim out is the ultimate sign of control and abuse on that person. So, what percentage of the population is abusive? What percentage of women face abuse in a relationship? Because this, even though his behavior is abnormal, is his behavior common among abusive men? And we see that a black woman is murdered every 6 hours in this country. Those are FBI stats.
Hmm.
So please, by all means, let's talk about what it is that we know for certain. Because when I looked at the data of what percentage of narcissistic personality disorder by race and gender. And the vast majority of people who are diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder is disproportionately black male and Hispanic women, I believe, that was the counterpart. And there's no cure for narcissism. So if this man was narcissistic and he's abusive and he is attempting to control and harm a person, how do we then superimpose some other type of diagnosis that we don't know and assist him in controlling a narrative that may not even be owed to him?
Okay, well, you said a couple of things. The first thing, when you said the studies, we have to be careful with that because of the people who's actually reporting this stuff, the people who are in control to release this. Because I believe a long time ago, they released a study saying that black children that were placed in, I forgot the name of it, but the special class, I don't want to say something offensive, but, you know, the yellow bus type, the kids who had the special needs, they used to say that, you know, like if you didn't test a certain percentage high enough, you were already diagnosed like just, you know, like slow and all this. And we found out later that's not true. So we have to be careful about these studies and who are getting this information because it will target certain groups and try to paint a picture for the benefit of making somebody more demonstrative. Now, when it comes to women's safety as well as black women, again, me and you talked about this last time. This isn't an American thing. This is a worldwide thing. And we know for certain, I mean, I hope we know that black men can't be both things at one time. We can't be dusty, own nothing, have no power, all of those things, and then still blame us for saying, well, we control the market. Sex trafficking and all these we don't own that. We know that for a fact. We know that there's higher powers of another persuasion of people that own that market that are kidnapping black women and using their organs and doing whatever.
I want to be able to address the things that you're saying, and you're saying a lot of different things. And so let's first start with this. The data is incorrect, or the data may be incorrect because we don't know who is gathering the data. Until you can show me that the data is incorrect, the data is as it stands. The data speaks for itself. And we cannot have the presumption that the data is fake if we have nothing to offer as an alternative. That's the conspiracy theory right there. Oh, the data is fake. Oh, this is not right. Oh, look at what they're putting. But the data shows. There are psychologists sir, you're not going to cut me off right now because I'm trying to
cutting you off. I was just responding to what you said.
No, this is not the time to respond. Let me finish. There are psychologists that are doing these diagnoses and they're placing them into the database. We have no standing to say that that information is incorrect. So that is a statement in and of itself. There's no way for you to refute that. We're going to move on to the next point. And the next point is about, what was the last thing that you said? I've lost my train of thought now.
I was talking about the fact that we own no resources. So how
Oh,
can we be
thank
the
you.
blame for
Thank you.
everything?
Thank
Right.
you. So just because there's not a person of a particular race at the head of an organization, and then that is with the presumption that there isn't a black man at the head of the organization. And then when we say the head, which head are we talking about? The ultimate head? Can you tell us who is at the ultimate head? Because you have no proof that there isn't a black man there. So let's just make that statement. You have no proof there isn't a black man there. That's one. Two, the henchmen who are gathering and kidnapping these girls. You don't have to be the head of the organization. Let me tell you, from what it is that I saw, PBS did a documentary about Black and missing girls. Even though Black women only make up, 6% of the population, Black girls and women make up 30% of the trafficking victims. And most people are not looking for them because they posit them as quote unquote runaways. The Black girl's life doesn't really matter. And by and large, these Black girls are not kidnapped by white men. They are trafficked, they are stolen by Black men, and their Johns who come in to R them are also Black men. It's your time to speak now.
Okay. Again, I'm not trying to debate the fact that you see, that's the thing. You can always put the blame and say, well, it's this or that. But if we don't deal with the head, then of course, I mean, if you come into a Black neighborhood, would you send white people? Of course not. You would send people that look like you to do the dirty work. But if you were going to stop something like that, you have to get rid of the people that's in charge. You said about the stats until I prove there's other research that prove otherwise. Well, according to research, Black women are the least the least amount of attractiveness in the world, according to the Fibonacci science. That's what the stats say, but I don't believe that.
Excuse me.
But that's what the
Excuse me.
science. That's what the science says.
You said white
According
women
to
are
this,
the. Oh.
no, I
God.
said according to this formula about symmetry in your face and all this stuff. Black women, according to their studies, are the least attractive. But I don't believe that. But that's what the stats say.
Right.
You know, so
Right.
we have to
Let
we have
me
to be
just.
careful about that.
I wanna address that because now you're going back to the stats, right?
Well, I was
If
just addressing
there,
some of the things you were saying.
right, I know, but it's really let's continue to move forward because the
Mm,
calls are only but a certain amount of time. It is
okay.
impossible for you to refute the data without data that says otherwise. That is point blank. There's this, you cannot. So now you're going to talk to a Black woman and start trying to talk about the data of the face says that Black women are the least attractive. If
No,
there
that's
is,
you're taking
excuse
that out of
me,
context.
I
That's not what I
listen,
said.
listen to what I'm saying right now because I want to move forward. If there is a certain set of data points that says this is what an attractive face looks like to those people, and they have created this point by point, whatever it is, to choose the attractiveness of a face, right? And they say, well, this is what an attractive face looks like. According to that data, if Black women's faces do not match their data points, right? Then yes, that is the truth according to that set of data, that Black women do not match this, and they are assuming or they are surmising that this is what attractiveness looks like. So I can say, yes, if this is what you're considering to be attractive and this is outside of that, then okay, according to this. But that is their narrow view according to that piece of what they're using for attractiveness. When we say these are the characteristics for narcissistic personality disorder, and we say that disproportionately Black men make up the people diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, given control for their portion of the population. How can we refute that? The data says that. What do you have to refute that besides some whimsical thinking about something that you've conjured in your head to say that it's not true? And then you're moving the goalposts and you're bringing all of this other stuff in. But please, so why don't listen? There can be a Black scientist that can come up with what he thinks is attractive. If I say, according to attractiveness, curly, coily hair that looks like wool is what's attractive. And then I say, well, if your hair is straight and limp, that's not attractive. And I show whatever data points I'm going to show. But if the criteria is a diagnosis from a mental health professional meeting these data points, then how can we refute that? And if there are white men who own an organization, Black men do not have to participate in the trafficking of Black girls. They don't have to participate in it.
Okay. The overall point I was making was that simply in anything, you can pick and choose what you want to believe. And just from this conversation and me listening to you, if you already have your mindset on what you think it is, it's always going to be that way. And that was my only point. It's not to sit here and go back and forth.
I'm sorry, you're being disingenuous. Listen, I'm sorry.
No,
Please, you know
I mean,
what?
if you want to
I
echo
told
chamber,
you, no. I am willing to change my point of view.
Every time I talk,
listen,
you don't want to hear anything.
No,
you just want to give
listen.
your opinion.
No, because you're not going to misrepresent. You're not going to misrepresent. Give me that much respect. I am willing to change my point of view. This is why, right? This is why I asked you for the data. I am willing to change my point of view. Show me the data. I don't make my point of view up out of my asshole. I look and I read data. Show me the data and I will change my point of view based on what is truth.
Okay, so trying to move forward. What's in your opinion, and let me go with that, in your opinion, then what's the solution? If it's just Black men are the ones that's just running around here crazy, you think that's normal behavior, because like you said, I can't prove it otherwise on the stat, then what's the solution?
You see, you're misrepresenting again. I asked you, right? Because you said that it must be mental illness if the behavior is not normal. And that is, I asked you for a diagnosis of mental illness. Just because somebody does something that is abnormal, counterculture, or deviant doesn't mean that they have a mental illness diagnosis. Okay? So that's what we're talking about. You are a man, and one of the solutions is each one teach one. If you are a man who is doing well, reach back and assist a boy coming up. Spend some time mentoring the youth. Stop gaslighting women. Stop blowing smoke up women's asses. Stop giving men who have not been diagnosed with a mental illness some unbeknownst mental illness diagnosis onto them. Let's start doing that. Because we can't solve a problem that we will not admit exists.
Okay. It's just my personal belief, and now this is my opinion. Whether it's a man or a woman, humans, it's no science, because what happens is under stressful situations or just plain living life, you do not know what a person is going to do at any given moment. It's always that X factor. You can have somebody who comes from a well-to-do family and they become a serial killer. And then you can have somebody who's in the gutter and they become a scientist. So therefore, there is no solution to somebody just snapping and losing their mind. You know, the part you're saying about reach one, yes, I believe that as Black men, we are doing poor and building communities, but still in all, people are going to be people. You cannot control every single person's emotion. And for whatever reason, he could have been the greatest guy in the world for 20 years of his life. And just that day, he lost his mind. And there's no science to it. And there's no way you can sit there and say that the studies say that's just
Can
impossible.
you prove
There's,
that
there's,
he lost his mind? You're making
yeah,
excuses for
because he
him.
killed himself.
Prove he lost. No, prove he lost his mind. He had
Because
sense
he
enough
killed
to
himself.
go. Just because he killed himself doesn't mean that he lost his mind. There are plenty of people who killed themselves, and that doesn't mean that they lost their mind. They killed themselves
So,
for any number of reasons. Listen, he went out and he bought an outfit for his
hmm
funeral. He premeditated this. He pre-planned it. She had
yeah,
had.
but I'm
She
saying,
had.
again, that
Listen.
goes back to what you
She
said
had.
about,
Sir, I need you to hear what it is that I'm saying right now. She had issues with him in the relationship where there were already signs that things were going wrong publicly. Back in October, November of 2021, she wrote about how she felt mistreated and misused in the relationship. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not like he had 20 years of being a great, phenomenal person. There were cracks and holes that existed behind the scenes.
I personally don't know anybody, most people have issues in their relationships. This is what I'm saying, why it's not a science. If you ask most people who've had a relationship longer than a year, they can always point back and say this happened, that happened, we had arguments, fights. The only thing that's going to ever come to finality about your relationship, in this case of something tragic, is when
Sorry, give me
something
1
tragic
second.
happens. That's just, I mean, I don't know
Excuse
why
me,
that's so
1
hard
second.
most relationships are going to have ups and downs.
Listen,
But until
I
something
need to
tragic like
speak.
this
You're not
happens,
even paying attention. All right. Raul was just sent to the block party. Call women bitches on my page and you see what happens. I'm the queen over here. And I make the decision of who lives, who stays, and who goes. Call women bitches and hoes over here. See what happens to you. I got all night for this. My finger is faster than yours. Try me. Try me. I'm going to show you who the bitch is. And it ain't me, motherfucker. It ain't me. So, nonetheless, phone lines are open 323-488-3149. You're on the air live with Tanya. What's your name?
Steven.
What's your name?
My name is Steven.
Your name is Steven. Where are you calling from?
Sacramento, California.
All right. So, Steven, what is your comment about the situation that we're talking about?
My comment is just briefly, and I know you don't want us to talk about previous callers, so I won't. But the previous conversation is exactly what's holding back a lot of progress is men in denial. My comment on the scenario of the situation, frankly, I left a comment on YouTube recently about this, and a lot of folks gave me that thumbs up because I was right. I said, collectively, we are seeing this more and more in the community, violent black men unchecked and all that. And I stated on there that really, here's my self-love message, that black women need to protect themselves. Decent black men need to protect themselves. The problem is so layered, and it's very personal for me because I found out some information over the weekend that had a lot to do with this story. But the self-love message is protect yourself, use discernment, and guard your heart. My mother spared me from a fate very similar to this baby's, and she revealed that to me over the weekend, actually. Long story short, and the cycle of violence in my own family was extreme, but I was adopted into a beautiful family when I was 18 months old, so I was spared from that fate. But I think, Tanya, I'll keep my message short because I'm way too emotional right now, is that until we admit the problem, there will not be progress. And we need to start looking at the collective of black men and not the unicorns, not the good people like my father who raised me, or my good uncle, or that kind teacher that really guided me. These are unicorns in our community, and until we can admit that in mass, our brothers are problematic, uneducated, unchecked, we won't be able to make progress. Now, solutions, there are many, but I agree with a point you made along in the past, which is extricating these nakers out of the community is numero uno. They should not have access to our women. They should not be unchecked in the streets, destroying our communities. And I'm not a simp for saying that. I am a survivor, just like so many people out here, including that baby, because of a sacrifice of someone who was looking out for me. But that could have been me, that baby in that picture. And I don't want to go too much into it, but let's just say that my father killed his father, and my father beat his other son within an inch of his life. He had his reasons, you know, but the cycle of abuse, trauma, molestation, I can go on and on, is paramount in our community. And until we can admit that, there will be no progress. And Black men as a community, as a collective, this is what we need to own up to. And we cannot use our decent dads or our decent uncles as examples. They are exceptions so often and not the rule. That's all I really have to say today, but I thank you for taking my call.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. Thank you. All right. You know what? I remember I lived in Japan for a year, many moons ago now, many moons ago. And when I was there was this Black African guy that was complaining about the fact that Japanese parents didn't want their daughters dating Black men because of all of the single mothers, the scattered single mothers that were being left there with these little biracial babies whose hair they didn't even know how to comb. And I was like, he was telling me it's not fair. These Japanese parents, they don't want us dating their daughters. They say we're going to leave the daughters. They say that we're not good men, this, that, and the other. And I say, well, how many are Black men leaving these girls here with little brown skinned babies? And he was like, yes, they are. And I was like, well, because I'm like, where would Japanese parents get this idea from? And he was talking about all of the Black men who had left their little fluffy head kids over there in Japan. And I said, well, can you blame the parents? Look at the stats. Look at the data. You're blaming the parents instead of looking at the reality of the situation, at all of the Black men who have left scattered homes here. It's like you can't see where they're coming from. And then when you think about how many Black men are showing up in these neighborhoods, bringing chaos with them, and then you see them walking or driving through a neighborhood, what is it that all of the other Black men have done who have the same uniform on of the baggy sweats and pants hanging down low, or, you know, the grills on their teeth or whatnot? I remember I saw that video of the Black boy who was walking through a neighborhood and this white man was pushing him and trying to get him out of the neighborhood. You see, the problem that many white people be having is that they go and they behave this way with Black real estate agents, Black people who are out campaigning for their campaigns, and they just be acting the effing fool. They do, right? They don't try that mess, because if somebody who was really, truly gangster about it, they wouldn't try that mess with them. They block and impede the path. Like, you all, many of you were watching a video I was on live earlier this week, and there was this woman that was trying to let her dog pee on my car, and I knocked on the window, and she and I got into a verbal altercation. But you see, that mother effer walked the hell off. She didn't stand up there in my face trying to maneuver herself around me, because I carry something around with me that would have got her the hell up off me very quickly. And they know who to play those games with. But the whole point of my story is, if these Black men are going around wreaking havoc in their neighborhoods, and we see what young Black men are doing in their own neighborhoods, is it any wonder that some people don't want them in their neighborhoods, bringing the chaos with them, the patterns and the habits of destruction with them? And the thing is that they don't want to see why there are certain... I remember when I lived in Harlem. When I lived in Harlem, there were young men who were always on the stoops, blocking people paths, standing out, hanging out there, taking money, and then there was a brown paper bag up in a car wheel, and somebody would go and get the brown paper bag out and hand something from the brown paper bag, and they would come in because they were out there all day, and like some of them were drinking, and they had to use the bathroom, so they would just come into the hallway. The whole hallway was rank. The whole hallway was rank with urine everywhere. It was so stink and disgusting in there. And it's like when you have people who don't care, they don't have ownership, they don't care about the surroundings, and they just destroy it, right? And I remember there was one time that I don't even remember how it was something, I had some sort of issue with the rank smell in the hallway in Harlem, something. And I ended up in a verbal altercation with some ratchet black woman who was defending that fuckery. And we have got to stop attempting to find allegiance based on how a person looks, what their skin tone is. Because every person who looks like you is not a friend to you. You have to talk to people. Like that person, Sim, who called in. I need to find that last call, because it's always an issue with him. I'm glad that people enjoy the show and they continue to watch, but some people have some very toxic ideas, and this is why it's important to ask a question. Somebody wrote me earlier today about the board game or the card game that I'm in the process of developing, so that you all can know the questions to ask to weed people out who are not a good match for you. I'm still in the process of listen, don't call each other names in the comments, please. We can do better than that. Attack the argument, not the person. If you have an issue with something that someone is saying, poke holes in their argument. There's no need for you to have to call them names, because what ends up happening is you create a polluted, toxic environment. At the end of the day, if you're over there cursing people out, you're providing pollution. So then which one becomes worse, the pollution and the trolling that they were doing, or the pollution that you create by cursing them out? At the end of the day, it's still pollution, isn't it? But you will say, oh, well, my pollution is good pollution. It's still pollution. All right, phone lines are open, 323-488-3149. Let me check the apples and make sure we're on top of that. They come in so slow on the iPhone. There's people calling me names. All right, I think so. Khadija says the number is down. All right, looking. I can't wait till the board game is done too. I should be able to get that out this year. And Thomas says Tanya is silent when black women are M'd, white men hypocrites. Yeah, because the vast majority of black women who are M'd by black men. I'm not going to sit up here and, with all of the viral stories going out, I'm not going to do viral stories about the minority unless there's some sort of self-love issue there. There's no self-love lesson in that, because most black women are faithful to black men, but black men are continuing to harm black women. Part of the reason that you want me to speak about that is because you want me to do to put like a hook around black women to bring them back into the fold, to be like, oh, well, you see now, don't go out there with the white men because these white men gonna treat you walk, girl. No. The vast majority of black women who are M'd and harmed and hurt are hurt at the hands of men who share the same race as them. This is why when there's a self-love lesson in regards to that, this is why I speak about what is most pressing, what is most prevalent. It's like, I don't understand what it is that you're not getting about that. It's like, it's these scare tactics. And there are other channels who, the moment that a black man does something, they come out on their channels and they're like, see, this is just the way black men are. all of them, there's issues, this is that and the other, and they go off. There are white men out there right now who think that you're an inferior monkey, who doesn't know right from wrong because you're a beast and that you need to be under his control. But instead of being out there fighting these white men, you're here on my channel, in my face, talking to me instead of pulling your nuts to goddamn together and doing what you need to do out there against other men. Son, if you have an issue with white men, pull up your sack close to your body, not with a finger in the middle so it splits and then it looks very vaginal. Don't do it that way. Take a nice handful and cup them up to your body and go out there to the men who are you feel holding you down and back. Go do that. Fight your oppressor. But you find it so much easier to be up here in my soft-skinned face, here with me in all my fatty femininity. You find it easier to be here, and this is part of the conversation that we're having about the difference between a man who fights other men and the type of hoe-ass man that fights women. Come on, how can I have any respect for you when at this very moment, listen, I have black men in my life whom I respect. Black men who are out there on the front lines, freedom fighting, who went and they got their law degree. What the fuck are you doing, son, besides sitting with your Twitter fingers dangling on a keyboard with your little nuts swinging down low and typing to me? What are you doing besides that with your Twitter fingers in a flurry? It's like, come on. The calls are butting up against one another. So it's giving us more time to talk. For all of the people who are calling in, just simmer down because I see the calls butting up. 1632, 1828, 1828, 1632 are butting up against one another. Both of them are going back to back to back. Just simmer down, simmer down. Take a deep breath, everybody. You know what? It is 2022, and it is about time that I hired new mods because the mods that we do have are going through personal crises because life doesn't stand still for anyone. So it is time that I hired new mods. So if there is a person who would like to be a mod, contact me on my website. You need to understand the rules of my platform. I allow most comments to come through unless people are purposefully trolling. You know what I mean? And just saying things that are just ridiculous. But other than that, it's time for new mods, so that's fine. So contact me. All right, so we're going to, the calls are just butting up against one another. They're not coming through because they're coming through too quickly. Let's just grab one.
Hello.
You're on the air live with Tanya TKO. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Yay! Hi, Tanya. This is Hannah from the Bronx again.
Hey, Hannah. How are you? How are you? So,
I'm doing great.
Welcome, welcome. What is your comment this evening?
Okay. Now regarding the shooting of that guy. First off, when anyone knows if it's regarding a mental illness, it's a track history. No one just shoots someone and says, "Hey, wow, that mental illness shit is no joke," or whatever the hell he said. No, it doesn't work like that. Because first off, he would have had signs of when he was younger, you know, just like people who have autism or even my schizophrenic, like I will have hallucinations, like basically like I was talking to an imaginary friend and I'll tell my mom like, "Hey mom, Lucy's here." You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not one of those things. You can't just plead insanity after committing a crime. And the sad part about it is it's not the fact that he took his life like a coward. That's not the fact. If he would have lived, I strongly would have believed that if he could have got off if he pled insanity. I strongly believe that. There are many cases where that happens, even with murderers or pedophiles, So.
Okay. All right. So all right. So you're saying that the signs of mental illness show up early. What
They
about
have a history.
schizophrenia? They say that schizophrenia doesn't really show up until the person's in their 20s, right?
True. Yeah, on certain conditions, like this is another thing, like they have to rule out because my sister's a lawyer. Okay. So for I think post-traumatic stress, they don't rule that. It has to be like schizophrenia because schizophrenia shows up later. That could have been excused, but he would have still went to jail if he would have pled insanity to me. Because post-traumatic stress, they don't, because post-traumatic stress, that happens on a current event, like that gradually happens. You're not born with that, like my case, they actually, you have to go through a process, like they have to mentally evaluate him. And if he would have said anything, which I strongly believe, because from the comments that was underneath the girl who died's photos, her last comment, I think it said on Facebook or what she posted, you have read it. It said that she was done with these effers, like she was finished. So I strongly believe she had a cutoff point, like woman who's tired and wants the better for her kid. And the cousin, she's actually commenting under the post of her thing. You should see that. I'll definitely send you the link. But she was basically saying how she was finished with him. She wasn't going to go back. And the fact that he knew that, he couldn't take that. Like the fact that he couldn't buy her, because you see with the money thing, like he thought like FEMA's, because he could say he had a mental illness. He sure was holding that gun in that rap video. He looked pleasant. He, laughed, watch out. What he say in his little rap? Watch out, don't play with me. He looked pretty happy to me.
Well, looking happy and having and being mentally unwell are not mutually exclusive.
Definitely. And not talking. And then reading his post, talking about he don't like to open up to no one. No, that's a personal thing. That's not mental illness. Mental insanity is something that you can't help.
Yeah.
You don't just wake up one day and just diagnose. No, you go to therapy. They even say like if someone's on suicidal watch, you call the cops. Even in my situation when I had my schizophrenic episode, my sister who went to school, collegely educated, she called the cops. You have to call the cops. It doesn't work like that.
Got you.
So,
all right.
Just a little 2 cents on that.
Well, thank you, Hannah, for calling in and giving us your perspective. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
All right, you too. All right, phone lines are open, 323-488-3149. I received a link with the FBI data link, but I need to review this when we're offline, and then I'll take a look at that. You're on the air live with Tanya. What's your name?
This is Cherie Lolo.
Hey, Cherie. Which city you calling in from?
I'm calling from North Carolina, Fayetteville, North Carolina.
All right, we got North Carolina in the house. Okay, Cherie, go ahead, talk to us.
Hey, Tanya, I've been following you for the past 2 years on your website, and I'm thankful that you're here to answer my call. I got several things I wanted to say, and I don't want to sound like a devil's advocate on this, but I'm looking at this. Oftentimes in the field that I work in, I'm a rideshare driver, but in the field that I work in, there's a lot of young girls that are out here trying to be adult women. And there's a lot of grown men who are coming out with their fetishes towards our young princesses out here. And oftentimes the mothers, as another mom, myself, and as a female, when we tell these moms we need to be a little more restrictive over things that we allow our children to do, they want to fight us because they don't want us to tell them what they already know. There's laws that's in place that's supposed to protect our children, and we don't. Oftentimes, a lot of women don't go to the police because the police, like normal men, have fetishes, or the law don't want to take any actions against it because of where we live at or because of color of our skin. And it's up to us women to really educate our daughters as well as show our sons what it's like to be a citizen and not do this crazy stuff. I am really tired of a lot of men because I went through it with my ex, talking about as a mental illness to justify their behavior. It wasn't mental illness when you did the job. It wasn't mental illness when you beat us up. It wasn't mental illness when you saw this little girl who claimed to be 18, who still is not 21, so she's still not an adult. But all you saw was your fetishes over her body, and you lust over the body. That wasn't mental illness. So because you got with her, got her pregnant, because neither one of y'all use a protective, protection, now you want to claim mental illness and do her life away? I don't want to play devil's advocate, but Tanya, at the end of the day, I'm like this. I'm not going on mommy and daddy's fault for the daughter being out there. I'm going on the men that got the fetishes, like that gentleman that called you. The first time he said he was a truck driver, I don't want to hear nothing else he got to say. Because I have witnessed, I have even called the police, seeing these truck drivers having these girls coming in and out the truck. And the girls are key, and laughing like what they did was slick. It's not funny. Sex trafficking is not only in Atlanta. And I was in your trenches. I was in your ring, Texas. I'm the one telling you that Davita Ray, she's being disrespectful. She's calling people out their names and blocking because she tried to block me. Because I told her sex trafficking is not just in Atlanta. Sex trafficking is in every state in the United States. North Carolina has a high trafficking. And what makes it even worse with North Carolina that I have yet to see in Atlanta, there are sex trafficking infants. There are babies that are being sex trafficked from, you name it, any county in the North Carolina state. And we're getting the Amber Alerts where they're trying to get them past the south of the border. I'm getting an Amber Alert at 2:30 in the morning.
What is your thought on the man who did the Facebook Live and
I'm hurt. I'm hurt because this is a grown man. He's grown. He's not a teenager. He's not 15, 16 years old. He's a grown man. The young girl, you can tell. You can tell she's a young girl. When she got with this dude, it wasn't like her mom and them didn't know him. But they knew that something wasn't right in the relationship.
You know the couple?
Baby. Huh?
You know the couple?
I don't know of that couple. No, I don't. But when you look at that situation as it is, your first pregnancy, why everybody not around you?
How do you know? I
can't play.
You don't know them, so you don't know who was around them. But listen, you know what? You called, you expressed your point of view on several different points, and you got a chance to speak. It's been 5 minutes, so thank you so much for calling in, Cherie. Thank you. You're on the air live with Tanya. What's your name?
Amisha, hello.
Hi, Amisha. So where are you calling in from?
From Florida.
So we got Amisha calling in from Florida. All right. So what is your comment?
I just want to say that women, we should protect ourselves from these men. And if he's having some mental health issues, to just call the police, text the police, run away, move when he's at work, whatever. You have to protect yourself at all costs.
Okay. Well, thank you so
Yes.
much for adding that. Thank you.
Yeah, because hello?
Oh, I thought that was the end of your sentence. Go ahead.
No, because I had a family matter situation where my sister was in an abusive relationship, moved away to Georgia, and then during a custody battle, she went to drop her child off, and he took the child and he accepted the child, and then he killed my niece and put her in the deep freezer for 3 months. And then when he got a hold to my sister, he also killed her too once she was alone. So don't go alone anywhere with these men. Get supervised visitations and do what you have to do to protect yourself. And the only cause of him not wanting to let her live was because she put his butt on child support.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how do you
So
protect
that
yourself if you don't know that a person is capable of something like that? Like, that's sick stuff.
that's what I'm saying. Just take the extra precaution because these men are secretly angry and hating you on the inside for some unknown reason.
But what is the warning sign that a person is going to put their child in the freezer?
If they're upset with you and they're cussing you out over the phone, and you know that they've jumped on you, and you know that they have several women that they've impregnated and left their children and beat their other children, it's all kind of warning signs.
Okay. So if the person has been violent with you before, they're on the phone cursing you out and angry and all that other stuff, then that's a pretty good idea that you have to get very, very far from them and have supervised visitation, etc.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're in an unsafe position, because if you're unsafe, more likely out of 10, he does have a mental health issue, but there's ways to get away from him.
Okay.
And I would take the necessary steps to move away from him, whatever that is. Like I said, moving while he's at work, getting you a gun, whatever it is.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? Thank you. We appreciate your point of view.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see how long we've been on. We're going to take a few more phone calls. We have some apples who have come in. I'm going to grab those in a second. Dia's having a hard time getting through. It's just a lot of calls. You're on the air live with Tanya. What's your name?
This is Cherie Lolo calling you back.
Hi, Cherie. So you didn't finish everything that you said?
I want to ask you a question because I didn't get a chance since you cut me off the last time I hung up. I wanted to ask you a question. So what do you expect from us callers when we call you about our opinion about the subject of this young man? Because I have yet to hear you say how you felt about it. So our opinion apparently is not important. So what is your opinion on the subject matter?
I gave my opinion in the last video, and I spoke during the breaks. I spoke in the beginning of this video about my opinion.
No, you talked about mental illness, and then you went to talk to Sim, the truck driver, for over 30 minutes. You didn't say how you felt about the young lady or the baby, and we didn't finish the video because you had a problem with the video, so we don't even...
Okay. All right. She's on hold right now. I just need to turn down the volume a little bit. It seems like she needs to vent, so I'm going to give her a few moments to vent. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm not going to take the apples while she's waiting. Let's bring her back on. All right. Cherie, are you ready to converse?
I would like to, but if it's going to take more than 5 minutes, I don't want you cutting me off.
Right, but you know what? You had your chance to speak, and the calls are only supposed to be 5 minutes. Sim's call was 16 minutes.
Right, but the truck driver had longer than that.
Right, his call was 16 minutes, and I am being more mindful, especially when people have made their points. He and I were engaged in a back and forth, but you've made your points. I allowed you to speak, and so we have to go forward.
You realize, as a follower of yours for a very long time, as much as other people, we all have opinions too
I
And when
understand,
you,
but you
especially
know
when you
what?
have a call
I'm
in,
going to be
right?
quite honest with you.
Okay. Okay.
You seem inebriated. You seem intoxicated, as if you've had some
Ain't
sort of
nobody
substance.
inebriated or
You
intoxicated. What I
seem. I didn't
am
say that you were.
is
I said,
faulting
listen.
me.
You see, you try to be honest with people, and then they start going off the rack. She seemed inebriated to me. I'm going to bring you back on, my dear.
Drink.
Cherie,
But
okay.
I
I'm
do
just saying,
notice that
hold
your
on. You're
moms come
being.
in there and they're abusive. And every time you speak as a
Listen,
relationship expert, you
listen,
are abusive.
I'm
And that
abusive
you
now.
should not
You
be.
see?
But
So
you
you
know
see
what? It
the
can
thing.
always be ratified. It can always be ratified. Moderation is not just for you you bloggers. You know that, right?
So what?
Moderators is not just you bloggers.
You see what
That's
I'm
why you ain't
saying?
been monetized yet.
You see? You see now? She's attacking me, talking about people project, talking about other people are abusive, and she's saying something that, if that is not intoxication, I don't know what is. That's frightening, actually. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about a situation with a man who was going off the rails, who had some problematic things going on in his past. And then this is too much. This is too much. We each have to be in control of ourselves. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. So nonetheless, what is that I hear? The apples have come in. Let's check these apples real quick. Khadijah says, down with the Naker male, down with the Naker. Khadijah, you sound like these texts are not sounding coherent. They're not sounding coherent. I appreciate you, but you have to simmer down. And Dia says, it's so hard to get through. It is. I don't know how you have a hard time getting through and other people are able to slide in. You know what I'm saying? To come in, unleashing. It's too much. It's too much. All right. Here. All right. There was a person by the name of Thomas who had to get sent to the block party. So he's there now with the rest of the people eating cardboard sandwiches and mustard. So yeah, let's grab this real quick. You're on the air live with Tanya. What's your name?
Andrea. Hi, Tanya.
Hi, Andrea. How are you?
In pain. Coming along, though.
All right. Where are you calling in from, Andrea?
Jacksonville, Florida.
All right. So we got Andrea from Florida in the house. All right, Andrea, talk to us. What is your comment this evening?
Yes. Just want to say I am so fed up with what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a situation here in Jacksonville, Florida, a couple of years ago, where this young lady didn't want to be with this man anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And she was sitting in a car with her friend and her young child in the back seat.
Mm-hmm.
He walked up to the car and just blew her head off.
Okay.
And walked up to the car and blew her head off.
What's the
And
self-love
to me,
lesson in, because we can't just we can't just talk about crime stats. What is the self-love lesson?
The self-love lesson is to protect yourself and get away from toxic situations. And when I was in New Jersey, I was
how do
in
you know, though?
I was in.
Mm-hmm. How do you know that somebody is capable of doing something like that?
I'm ready to tell you about a situation I was in when I was in New Jersey. I was in a abusive relationship. It wasn't physical, but it was mental.
Mm-hmm.
My youngest son's father used to park outside my house. 2:00 in the morning, I would look out the window. 3:00 in the morning, he would be parked outside my house. I would drive and turn around. He would be there. And we lived together for about 3 months. And I saw the signs. He would punch walls. And he wouldn't punch me, but punch walls. And that was the first, problem that I saw. So I said, I got to get out of here before he starts punching me. And I left because I love myself.
Yeah, yeah.
So I saw the sign and I decided to leave. And once I left, that's when he started, parking outside my house and following me around. And I guess, it didn't go any further than that because I had brothers.
Okay.
And my brothers would protect me also. But it's a shame because a lot of women don't have people to protect them. And probably that's why a lot of men do the things they do too, because a lot of women don't have protection other than themselves. I feel sometimes too. And it's just a sad situation. So once you see the warning signs, it's best to get out. I mean, if you love your life.
Give them, what are some of the warning signs? You said punching walls. What else?
Abusive language.
Okay.
Talking down to you, making you feel like you're nothing, making you feel like you're worthless.
Okay.
And just things like that.
Okay. Well, you know what? Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you.
And thank you, Tanya. Love you. Keep the show going.
All right. Bye-bye.
And I'm going to be watching while I'm recuperating.
Oh, wonderful.
And everyone, be blessed. Stay safe. Love you all. Love you, Tanya. Bye-bye.
All right. See, that call was 3 minutes. It's very simple. Once you express and say what you need to say, then the call we wrap it up and we move forward. All right. So phone lines are open. We're going to take a few more phone calls and then we're going to go on from there. All right. I see calls are butting up against each other again. And yeah, so I see 5975-6205. I see 9313. I see the calls butting up. But yeah, so I expressed my point of view. We did an hour video before this one. This video is a call-in video. If you all want to hear my point of view, I talked for an hour in the first video. And I think I'm going to do it like this more often. I don't think I'm going to combine them because I like keeping the informational video. I like keeping that shorter. And then I like also having, because the energy the energy of the phone call videos are different, and not everybody likes the phone call videos. Some people are here for the shenanigans and some people are not. Oh my goodness. All right, let me see.
Hello?
You're on the air live with Tanya. What's your name?
Hi, this is Sophia. I'm calling from New York.
Hey, Saskia from New York.
Hi, how are you? I just wanted to share my experience.
Oh, wait, hold on. I just wanted to thank you and welcome you to the line, Saskia in New York. So talk to us. What is your comment about all of this?
I'm currently in a DV shelter.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was being financially abused.
Oh.
Emotionally, I was really going through it. I had twins in April of last year, and I moved to Jersey with him. And I had them at 27 weeks, so I was unable to work. So I relied solely on him as far as income. He turned into a whole monster. He turned into a demon. He blew $20K in a couple of months without telling me. He was paying his ex's phone bill. The man looked me on my face and said I couldn't get a coat for the winter time or shoes. I was really, really going through it. And it started to get progressively worse, so I left. So my self-care advice is to please pay attention to the signs. Don't wait because you think that he loves you and he'll change. Pay attention and leave, okay? I lost everything, my credit. I have no money, but I have my life. I have my future, and I have my children.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this message to women.
No problem. Take care. And I love your show. I'm from Trinidad representing as well.
We love you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. See, that call was 1.5 minutes. I'm sorry if that caller felt cut off. We allowed her to speak on several different topics, and the topics kept changing. So I don't really know that you all expecting something of me that's just not there. I don't have it in me to just, I don't know what you all expecting. I do my very best on these phone calls, and I am not for, I'm not for everybody. I'm not for everyone. You know what I mean? I do the very best. And I understand she said that she was a viewer for 2 years. But see, you know what? This is a lesson right here. So she called in. She was really happy. She said she was a viewer for 2 years. The moment that things became a little uncomfortable, then she turned on me. 2 years of watching and all of that. And then she turned on me, started talking about me, hollering at me, over talking me, talking about why I'm not monetized and all this, that, and the other, right? This is how in these relationships, we have to pay attention. The amount of time that a person is with you or you all are together, or that they said that they've spent wanting to be with you or looking at you or watching you or whatever, none of that matters. What is the interaction like when you two are together? Does it feel fulfilling? Do you feel happy? Are you comfortable? I did my very best. I was very confused and lost on the phone call. There was really not much that I could ask because when I asked, I didn't feel like I was getting a coherent answer. I understand that now she probably won't watch anymore, and that is fine. I am okay with that because there's a difference between a viewer and a supporter. The people who are supporting the channel are sending apples through. They send me emails and subjects. They send me content. They send me breaking stories. There are people who write to me in the middle of the night letting me know that Nicki Minaj is live with Kevin Samuels. There are people who support the channel in different ways, not just sit back consuming, watching, consuming, and receiving the benefits of the content for 2 years and then try to mock and say, well, that's why you're not monetized. But I'm monetized on most platforms. I do very well online. I do videos because I want to create videos, because interacting with you all in the community that we've built it brings me joy. It gives me life, and I love doing this. I personally do not have to work for the next 10 years because I am doing very well. I'm okay. I am okay. However, the support that I receive matters, because my time exchanging for these videos matter. It matters. All right. The calls are still butting up against one another because there are so many coming in. Right now, there are about 1,000 people on. There's 800 people on YouTube, 200 people on Facebook, and a call finally squeezed through. You are on air live with Tanya. What is your name and where you're calling from?
Hi, Tanya. My name is Melissa. Melissa Mark. I'm calling from Connecticut, originally from Brooklyn.
Melissa from Connecticut in the house.
Yes.
Talk to us. So what is your comment this evening?
Okay, I had a possible solution. I don't know how to go about it, but it kind of popped in my head, and it would be something that would be great because I've also been in an abusive relationship too. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes it is hard to get out, but when you do see the signs, the very first signs, they're not going to change. It's going to get worse. So number one, my solution is, remember when, well, you probably won't remember, the people that had the corona, the Chinese people that were getting abused and stuff like that due to the coronavirus, and they put out like I think some kind of, you're not supposed to be able to be physical or abuse, you know, the Asian community and things of that nature. What they did was, during that time, they were so scared, I guess, when they would travel by themselves, whether it be a man or a woman, they made some kind of system that I don't know how they created, where they can get in contact with like a group of people that would be standers or watchers, or wherever they get off the station, whatever train station or stop they get off at, or maybe it's a bus stop, they would have a group of people that would assist these people to get back and forth, just to travel, to go from one place to another. And I thought that was brilliant, because, you know, black people, we don't have that. But for the Asians, they came up with that, and it seems to work for them. You see what I'm saying? So it was like a small community that wanted to help their own, and so they wanted to make sure that they would travel safely without having to be scared of being abused and stuff like that, because, you know, now the Asian population, they're being abused now, you know, more than ever. So that's one thing. If we can have that as women, some kind of like a group
or something like if you're scared of your spouse or you're scared of your boyfriend or whoever you're with, and you have that fear to walk in the street or whatever the case may be, there should be a group of people. Let there be like a group of some men that's on this website that you can get in contact with. Text them, these people, let them know what your situation is, that you're scared for whatever reason, and these people can come to help you. They can come and help you get from one point to the next point without being in fear of traveling, or you know what I'm saying, like just to be scared, because I used to be like that too, looking over my shoulder, and you can't go to work, you think they're going to show up at your job. Like, I've had all of that kind of stuff happen to me. You see what I'm saying? So if something like that could be put in place, I think that would be so good. That's number one. And number two was remember, well, you probably won't remember, but people that drink a lot or in bars, or people that the bartenders are not supposed to give people too many drinks, or if they feel as though they're with someone that's maybe giving them too much alcohol or too much liquor, they had some kind of code that they would give the bartender or the waitress, and that code would be saying to the other person, I think I'm in danger, I might have had too much to drink, the person that I'm with, I don't trust them, please, if I can get escorted from out the club to my car, or can I get out the club into a cab or Uber or something like that, just so you won't be as scared when this person leaves out the building with you, and you don't know what their intentions are if they're intoxicated. So that those two things right there, I think we need to put something like that in place for women or men or whoever's feeling, if they're feeling, they have fear of being abused. Put those things in place. Let there be somebody there that you can call that will show up and escort you if that's what you need. Let there be somebody there, in other words, put a code into the police and say, okay, whatever this code is, 54321, that means that I'm leaving this place, but I'm not too, this character that I'm with, they might be a little bit overwhelming, and I don't know how to get out of the situation. I need to get escorted from this club to my car, or from wherever the case may be. I think if something was put in place like that, I think that would be so good. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it goes on a day-to-day basis. It goes, but I don't know, like how big it would be, or how, big of a group that it would be. Yeah. But, we can trust each other in order to, because we need to watch out for each other. We need to have each other's backs. That's what I'm trying to say. So if we could put something like those two things in place, I think that would be a great help. You see what I'm saying? And not everybody has to know the code. This could just be something just amongst, the people in the clubs, or the people that, have a lot of drinking going on, and, whatever the case may be. It could be a mother at home with her kids, and she don't want to talk to her husband or her man and let him know, what I'm saying, that she's reaching out to a code. Like if you put a code into the police, I think you put a code into the police, and the police will show up if you think that you're in a bad place and you can't get to a phone, or you can't dial 911. It's someplace else that you can kind of contact. I don't know. What you think?
Yeah, I think that sounds good. However, I don't know how something like that would be implemented in a city, because there's so many different train stops and so many different places that people are going. I mean, it sounds good.
And each
However,
state probably sounds, each state is probably different. Depends on, their environments and, what they have to go through. Like, what I'm saying? Like New York would be totally different from Georgia or North Carolina, or, what I'm saying? I don't know. But it's just an idea, because we just need support. And so that way,
I feel you. You know what? But the thing is, remember, they used to have guardian angels in New York and stuff like that. So I'm sure that I'm sure there's a way to do it, and a way for these people to also get paid for doing it too. But it sounds like a great idea. But the thing is that it is, I thought about it, and I thought about, having an insular community where, where you come in, and in the community is safe because it's guarded and it's protected. And what will happen is there will be people who will try to kidnap folks on their way to the community, because it is a solution that is a Band-Aid on a cancer, because the issue really is in men, the way men are being socialized, the way they're being raised, the regard in which women are regarded, because that has to be the part that is nipped in the bud, because They
Right.
are they're going crazy out there, and we've got to cut the cancer out. And I think that
True, but
that is the
this could be something we can do too, maybe on the meantime, while we try to do those other things, like get the mental health systems, more going and more implemented and things of that nature. Because it's just a
to
band
get
aid.
it.
It will be
I'm
just a
trying
band aid,
not
but if
to.
it could
I'm
be
sorry.
I'm
like
trying. Listen.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I
It's
pressed up my
calling me.
thing.
I couldn't help myself. Here it is.
Sorry, my thing. I don't know how to stop it.
oh, that's you. I thought that was me.
Super Mammy. I mean,
It's
come the hell on.
My Super
Oh my
Mammy
goodness.
video just started playing. Oh,
That's all
listen.
right. That's all right. But you kind of get my gist on where I'm trying to get to. I know it's just a band-aid, and but it's somewhere we can start. You see what I'm saying? And then maybe as it gets bigger, we'll maybe have bigger, agencies or bigger people and organizations that could also be a part of it as well. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
No, I
it's
feel
just a
you.
band-aid just to help give a little bit of support that you might need in case things hit the fan and you really can't control the way things are going on today. You might be able to it might be able to save your life for that night. You see what I'm saying? So I think we should do something like that. It changes from, state to state because they all have their different
Well, you know what?
regulations
Listen,
and,
you've been on for 8 minutes
standards
and
or whatever.
42
But
seconds, so I'm going to let you go. We appreciate your point of view, but thank you so
thank
much,
you.
okay?
Thank
Thank
you.
you. All
I
right.
love
Bye-bye.
you. All
Love
right.
you
Bye-bye.
too. Bye-bye. All right. So, let's see.
Hello?
You're on the air live with Tanya TKO. What's your name and where you calling from?
Dia from Montreal.
Hey, so we have Dia from Montreal in the house. All right, Dia, so talk to us.
Yeah, so I think that it's really unfortunate what happened, obviously. And I think there's so many women that have unfortunately been in that type of position that have luckily made it out. I am one of those women that have luckily made it out. I do think that it speaks in volumes when grown men want to get with little girls, generally ages 18 through 23, because it's like, let's be real, what did any of us know about anything at those ages, right? And it's very obvious, and I get it, like he was younger when he got with the girl, but a 23-year-old does not, this is to the earlier conversation that you had, when the guy was like basically in a way victim shaming, because he was like, oh, well, if she had the reins of knowledge for herself, she wouldn't be with someone with that type of mental illness, even though we don't even know if he has that mental illness. And it's like, exactly, you just literally said someone who has the reins to know. What does a 23-year-old kid who can't even rent a car without being penalized, what would she have known? What would she have known? So was it my fault that a guy went upside my head? Was that my fault too? Because I should have had the reins to know that?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel you. 23 is not a kid, though. 23 is a young lady. However, I understand exactly what you're saying. A 23-year-old doesn't, especially if she has a 2 or 3-year-old child from him. She dated him when she was a teenager. What did she really know? You know what I mean? What did she really know about dating?
Yes, so that's all I wanted to say. And to the young ladies and the teens and even older women, like, just repeating, gotta see the signs, because, even though we like to say, oh, I didn't know, it's like there's always that thing that shows you that you should have like walked away. And your intuition, she's your best friend. She's your best friend. That little voice in your head, that's your best friend. And she's trying to look out for you. So you have to listen to her, because she's looking out for you, and she'll always have your best interests at heart. So that's all I wanted to contribute.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dia. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Tanya.
All right. The calls are coming in back to back now. You're on the air live with Tanya. What is your name and where you're calling in from? Oh, we lost the call. All right. So what we're going to do is you're on the air live with Tanya. What's your name and where you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh,
My
wow.
name
And
is
what is your
Janet.
name? Your name is what?
Janet.
Janet. Okay, so this happened in your home state.
Yeah, it's actually in my city as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. So talk to us. What is your perspective on all of this?
First of all, I am an advocate, and I'm also a domestic violence advocate. I also work with men as well. I
I'm
work with
sorry, there's
men
the
in
thing is
domestic
playing in the
violence.
background. You have to turn it down because it's going to distract
Oh,
both of us because there's a bit of a delay. It's like 20 seconds.
oh, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of strange. But one of my biggest issues, I'm hearing everybody saying, you know, a lot of stuff. I watched the live. I watched this live with this young man. I literally watched the live, and he was too cool and he was too calm. You don't see the signs. Many times people do not see signs. You don't see them. This young man planned everything down to his suit that he wanted to be buried in. So you don't see those signs. And as an advocate, sometimes it takes 8 to 10 times to walk away. Some women are not able to walk away. Some people die trying to walk away. It's not that simple. So I want people to know that it's not that simple to walk away. Even that they're in it, it's just not that simple. So I've heard a lot of people and I see a lot of the comments, but it's not, you know.
Well, can you give some perspective onto what makes it not
one
simple?
lady that said, there was one woman that said, a code. There's a code. And the thing of it is, if you are in a situation, find your best friend, your parent, or whoever, and give them a code. And that's the best thing that says that you're in trouble. A friend, best friend, parent, and say that you're in trouble so they can get to you. Period. That's the best thing to do if you're in that situation, that you can get out. Also have your important papers, have a overnight bag packed where it's nowhere is close to a door or whatever that you can leave. But pretty much it's hard to get away.
Why?
But that code it's very important that you have that code so
Can you hear
someone
me?
can, you know, and someone that know. Yes,
Can you
I'm
hear
here.
me? Okay. Why is it so difficult to get away? Help shed some light on that.
Because they tend to find you, and it's like, you know, it's almost like they're one step ahead. It's hard to get away, and it's like, you know, they have that one. Most of them have already taken the self-esteem. They're taking you away from your family. They're taking you away from everything. So they make you feel that you're dependent upon them. So once they feel that you are dependent upon them, you're all that they have, and that's why it's hard for them to get away.
So you mean financially dependent, emotionally dependent?
Dependent all the way around.
Okay.
You know, my family, your family don't want you. No one wants you other than me. You're worthless. They take everything away, all your self-worth. They take it away. Everything is away. So it's like you only literally dependent upon them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of the earliest signs that young ladies can pay attention to let them know that it's heading in that direction?
Name calling.
Okay.
You know, use the B word, or, you know, you can't do this. They take away the self-esteem. That's the first sign. Your first sign is the self-esteem.
Okay, so some of the things that people do to take away your self-esteem is to call you names, name calling.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, constantly putting you down, you're gaining weight, they just, anything that's derogatory, they take that away.
Okay, so they
The
start
derogatory statement.
criticizing you, calling you names,
Yeah,
calling you out your name,
you can't
cursing
do
at you, criticizing your body.
you can't do anything right. But we have to also remember, so that's just women. But we have to look at now, we can't just put this all on women. There are people, because we have two types of, we have multiple types of relationships going on now, because we have men and men
I
and
don't
men, and
listen.
we have
Okay, we
women
can
and
come back
women.
to that, but
And
we
so
need
there's,
to hold on.
yeah,
We
so
need to her,
it's multiple
ma'am, hello.
relationships.
Hi,
Hmm.
I need you to have a conversation with me and so that we can
Hmm.
stay on target, okay? So
Okay.
so we're talking about some of the things that they do to deteriorate your self-worth. And so
Right.
are the things that you're telling me right now, is this gender specific or is this something that both genders do?
They all do.
All right
They
then.
do that
So
all.
then there was
Yeah,
no need for
they
the
do.
caveat then. Let's continue forward. So calling you
Right.
names, putting you down, criticizing your body. What else?
Um, Burning your clothes. That's another. Accidentally saying that they bleached your clothes out, or destroying your personal belongings.
Okay, destroying personal belongings. What else?
Um, oh goodness, I'm trying to think of so many different things they have done, and this is based off of, like I said, I've been doing this since 2006. It's just so many different things. Um,
And you are the perfect person to be able to give advice to people. And so let's get this done. So destroying your
uh,
personal property. What else?
um, like I said, and the other one is they prey on you, making sure that you are a loner, especially if the beginning, and I can go with at the end of the year, if they don't have any place to go. And these are younger men preying on older women. They don't have anywhere to go. They're going to find somewhere to go. And, that's another one where they prey on making sure they have some place to be.
So let me
And
expound upon that
they're
with
prey
you.
on,
Who is the
this is a
person? Who
prey.
is the, excuse me,
This,
who is the
this is
person?
another,
No, we cannot
this is
both
a
talk at
prey.
this. Ma'am, I know you have information that you want to give, and you have to help me
Okay.
help you because you don't have notes
Right.
taken. So we have to stay on target. Who is the person that doesn't have anywhere to go? The person who is
The,
the abuser or the person who is
the
being
abuser.
abused?
The abuser.
Okay, so the abuser
The
has
abuser.
nowhere to go.
Right.
Okay.
And so they'll prey on individuals in order to have housing,
Okay.
just to make sure that they have housing, and
Okay.
they'll also feed them what they want to hear.
Okay, so let's go back to that last point. So you said that they will make sure that you are a loner, but then you gave the example of them being the loner with nowhere to go. How does
Right.
them not having anywhere to go aid in the abuse?
Because this is their way of getting in. This is their way of getting into you. This is their way of actually getting into your space. And this is how they are manipulating their way in.
Okay. Okay, so you're talking about maybe somebody who's never been to your house before or has only been there intermittently and then now they don't have anywhere to go. So basically what you're saying is evoking sympathy from you and evoking
Mm-hmm.
your care complex where you go and now you have to care for them, so they put themselves in a vulnerable position by either being self-deprecating or showing that they are in trouble or they're in need and they need you. So now they are the ones who are coming to you and you are their supposed savior, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go ahead.
And so once they're there and they figure that everything is all good, that's when you start seeing the different sides of it. It's like, okay, I'm good. Now tables turn.
Okay,
And then you start seeing a different.
hold on. let's talk a little bit more about that. So,
Mm-hmm.
having the relationship being solidified by you being pregnant, by you living with them, with the child being born, with them feeling as if they have trapped you or have become a permanent factor in your life, either through marriage or domicile residence or you giving birth to a child. Is this correct?
Giving birth to a child, and exactly those reasons.
Okay.
As long as they're in the home, as long as they're in the home, because in most states, as long as you're in the home, that's their residence.
Okay.
That's considered their residence. If the police is called, that's considered their residence.
Okay. Okay. All right. Then you said they flipped the script. And when they flip the script, what changes?
Attitude, behaviors, the whole demeanor. It's, once they figure out if there's an argument, and then that's the best part of this, when you have that type of relationship, because then you can truly see signs.
Okay. And so the signs are, once they flip the script, what are the signs of the script being flipped?
The arguments, truly name calling. You may even get hit the first time.
Okay.
You may even get threatened the first time.
Okay.
Even with your life, you're not going to put me out. If you do, this may happen. I may do this to your children. I may do this to your parents. I know where they live.
Okay.
Those are the signs. But it's still at that particular time, that's when you still yet need to leave. But again, because he has put this in your head, when they start threatening your kids and they start threatening your family members, that's the reason that you stay.
Or that's the reason that you go down and you get some of them, you go to the hardware store, get some of that sulfuric powder. Okay, let me stop. All right. Listen. I'm gonna listen. Pretend y'all didn't hear me.
We don't, in some states, because if you haven't called the police, this is a situation where we've had women that actually have done this, doing time and in prison for life because they did not call the police and they took his life.
Listen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You got to go to a library or someplace where it can't be traced back to you. You go, not a library because now you have to sign in with your library card. But go to some of these the international computer centers, and you sit down there for a moment, and you may need to switch computers with a person who just got up, and they have a little time left, and you do yourself a few Google searches for things that are don't show up you just do what Google searches to do, and remember.
We know, and you know what? And I'm going to say the best thing to do is to not be so vulnerable and literally sit back, get to know an individual first before you truly decided to make a move to bring a person in your life. Skip the 90-day rule. Let's talk about really getting to know an individual. You have your place, I have my place. 6 months, we sit back and think about this situation before we jump into something serious.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's me.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking about once a person done got in and the threats started coming, and you go and you get yourself some confectioner's sugar, and you go read Flowers in the Attic. You go read Flowers in the Attic, and you'll know what to do. You'll know what to do. Go
But
Get you
that's
some donuts.
premeditated.
Hey, what you
That's
talking about?
premeditated.
I don't know what you're talking about. Powdered sugar. You don't know what you know. You go listen. Go do a Google search because there are many a CSI show where that there are things that don't show up after the fact. Listen. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. All right. Thank you. All right. So listen. What is that I hear? All right, everything that we talk about on this show is hypothetical. Everything is hypothetical for entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only. You know, I can neither confirm nor deny. All right, Jamie sends in $2. Somebody said they're waiting for me to get on PayPal. I just removed PayPal because of the way that they behaved during my Christmas sale, and I have no intentions of getting PayPal back again. For the time being, Cash App is doing what it is that they need to do, and Biden has allowed them to get into our business. So we might have to figure out another way. Who knows? Valerie's song about flowers in the attic. I'm done. Listen, look. Apple seeds, cherry seeds. You just go do some Google searches. Listen. Entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only. Remember, if it's you or them, choose yourself. Because, listen, you know, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna continue moving forward. I ain't gonna say nothing. Let me just go forward. Jamie sends $1 and says, thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Jamie. We appreciate that. Latoya is all late with it, talking about stop letting Sim hog the line. No, child, I feel you. Paris sends $5 and says, we need to have women-only communities 100%. Listen, you know what? I hear you and I feel what you're saying. I have been thinking about creating a community for a few years now. So, all right. Beverly is saying Zelle goes to your bank account. The only thing is that we need something that can show up on the screen. You know what I mean? We need something that can show up on the screen. Because part of the reason that we use apples is because we don't do the super chats that YouTube decides that they deserve 45% of what people get paid. So are you all, I'm not in the mood to dance right now, but you know, dancing always elevates a person's mood. So listen, what should we go out to? You know, I kind of like the, here we go. All right, listen, go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. And, oh, there's a whole bunch of new apples that have come in. Let's grab these. A. Clarice says, Milwaukee has a horrible rate of BW genocide. Are you serious? I had no idea. Especially since when I went to Milwaukee, I didn't even see any black people out there. All right, Angelica, and the one black person that I did see, he was in an interracial relationship. And so sometimes you just got to be lucky that you dodged some of these bullets. Angelica says, I love you and your show. Thank you for what you do. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Cheryl sends $2 and says, I'm from Milwaukee. Thank you for discussing this. Thank you, Cheryl, for participating and being a part of the show. Davida says, not her lying on me now. Blocked. Listen, you know, look, I feel you. Listen, people will turn on you in a heartbeat. They'll talk to you about how much they love you, and then the next thing you know, they turn on you. Or they got other things going on in their mind, and they claim that they're not on any narcotics, but something the spark plugs ain't connecting. Something is not going right in there. Essence sends $2 and says, watch channels that expose narcissism. Ah, you know what? That is a good idea. That is a good idea. I have heard that there are several good channels out there that talking about narcissism will help you understand a bunch of things that you thought that you were crazy. One of the things that I can also say is that when you hear these men talking these red pill talking points or this MGTOW stuff, I have seen and avoided a lot of abusers by listening to men who start talking. They like, they start talking and they be like, oh, they be like, oh, you don't, if you want a man who got money, you a prostitute. My ex, she was a B, a real B. And going on and on. Why we gotta go out on a date? Why can't we just go to the park bench? And then they just be going on and stuff, and then they start talking those dusty talking points, and they be like, I'm the prize. You just hang up on them. I did a video. You know what? Listen. Here. Let me tell you. This is how you know. Let me go to Instagram.com /Tanya TKO, and let's see. Where's the? Oh, it's on Tanya TKO TV as well. Let's play a little clip for you right here, so that you all can know what my stance is on this, so that you know where I'm coming from. Here. I want somebody to answer me. How do red pill men make a woman's life better? How? I need this answer. How do they make a woman's life better? But when you start hearing a man talking these dusty talking points, you just need to go clamp up your vagina. You know, you remember the Transformers from back in the days. Just fold it back up within itself. And you hear them, they start talking about, oh, child support. I'm a good father. She just won't let me see my kids. Just be like, more than me. Just put your vagina back up within itself. Grab your purse like the meme of Annalise Keaton. Grab your purse and turn out the door. Do not look back. Because these men are making excuses for their abuse. They're making excuses to try to abuse and subjugate you. They're making excuses for themselves instead of doing the things that they need to do to fix themselves mentally, psychologically, and spiritually. They're just coming out here into the world defunct, and them with their counterparts of psychotic, colorless people. What do you call these people? Melanin-less people out there, and their damn craziness and the alignment that they have with these people. Same way that person wrote the book, Who Moved My Cheese. These mother effers, these red pill fools are out here acting like women have taken something from them. Women make the world a better place. We bring life. We are keepers of the womb. We make this life habitable. All right. That is my stance on it right there. Fold your vagina back up within itself and move on. Get out of there. Run. Don't look back. Do not turn back. Don't turn back. We have a new apple that has come in from Latara, and she says, thanks for the content. Thank you so much. And so listen, let's go on. Get out of here. Listen, go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. And part of loving yourself is, listen, don't be prey. Let these mofos know. You better dig down into your animal instinct and let them know that you're not playing those games. You're not playing those games. Hey. Thank you all so much for coming out. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. Let me see what the self-love lessons are. Type SLL and do your self-love lesson. Come on. Hey, hey, hey. My big hand. Ooh, ooh. Avoid. You know something? I'm not reading that out. SLL, vacate in peace. All right, come on, talk to me. All right. Part of loving yourself is what? Let's see these self-love lessons. Come on. Come on. Come on. Avoid nakers and memes. All right. Hey, 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 hey. Come on. Let's see what the self-love lessons are. Save yourselves, Black women. This is my cut. Listening to Tanya TKO will get you ahead in life. SLL, stay strapped. Listen. A. Listen to your inner voice. Take a shower daily. I don't see how that adds to the conversation that we're talking about. Keep on trucking. All right. Fold your cat up. Stay strapped. Boom. Boom. A. All right, let's see. Always choose yourself. All right, get a code and safe word. A. Marry her if she's your peace of mind. All right, I'm talking about the lessons that we're talking about in this. Seek therapy. All right, ladies, thank you all so much for coming out. Clench the couch. I think you meant cooch, but that's fine. Pay attention to the signs and your gut. All right. A. Have standards. A. All right. Do your research. Know the signs. A. Don't compete with Becky. I don't see how that has to do with our video. Please remember there's always help. Yup. All right. Thank you all so much for coming out. I appreciate you all very, very much. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Thank you for coming out and participating in the conversation. I will see you all in the next video. Tanya TKO and I'm out. If this is your first time here, make sure to subscribe. If you've been with me for a while, I hope you know my personality by now. You know what I'm saying? I forgot how this dance go. Hold on. Oh, there's an apple that just came in as we're getting out of here. Let me check it. Hey, background check. I feel you on that. I feel you. Hey. Let me check this last apple. Make sure we got them all. Hey. All right. Thank you all. Throw up your boxing gloves. I will see you all in the next video. Make sure that you like and subscribe. The last apple is not coming up. I don't know what's going on. Oh well. Hey. Good night, everybody. Good night, good night, good night. Take care of yourselves and one another. Tanya TKO, and I am out. Peace. When you call me sober, Lord have mercy.